Good morning, everybody. It's Debbie with the Pickin Coop Farmstead. It's been quite a minute here. I've been crazy busy with shows every weekend, and then right in the middle of all that, I had a bad case of sciatica. My sciatic nerve went crazy. So I think I'm on the mend now. It feels a lot better. I went all the way to a show 2 Saturdays ago out in Shasta Lake City, which is about an hour and 40, hour and 50 minutes round trip for me. Unloaded my car, started setting up, and it was hurting so bad. It was terrible. I almost started crying. So I apologized, packed my stuff up, loaded it back up, and came home. So I was out of commission for about 7 days, which drove me nuts. If you know me at all, I cannot sit still. So, anywho, I'm much, much better. I've increased my turmeric and magnesium, so that's supposed to help with nerves. So we'll see. Anywho, today I looked up on my channel and I thought I had did a video on making my hot cocoa mix. I don't buy hot cocoa mix anymore because that stuff, if you read the label, it is full of bad stuff. Oh, excuse me. So, I've been making my own hot cocoa for 3 years now, I think. So, I found a recipe that Gabby and I really like. We're the majority of the 3 people around here that drink it. And this particular recipe is from, let me go over here. This is from iambaker.net. And I'm going to go ahead and post this recipe. It's wonderful. It's super, super good. So, the things you're going to need, there was a fly or a bug or something flying around. So, the things you're going to need, I'm not sure if I'm going to double the recipe, but you're going to need cornstarch. You're going to need salt. I use Redmond's Real Sea Salt, the fine sea salt. Powdered sugar. I keep mine in a big jar. A jar to store it in. And then I'm going to use my 4 jars wide mouth funnel. And if you've ever bought one of these sets, you know it comes with a sifter. So that's a good thing. And cocoa, of course. You can use any cocoa that you like. Unsweetened cocoa. I am cheap, and I've been using this 100% cacao unsweetened cocoa powder from Winco. I'm slowly switching everything over to Azure Standard. As you can see, it's a mess. I'm going to tell myself I've got all these products from Azure Standard I need to jar up and put in my cupboard, but I'm way behind on all that. So, the recipe calls for 2 cups of confectioner's sugar. So, oh my goodness, a sneezing attack right before I turn the camera on. So we're going to come over to our jar right over here. And 2 cups, there's 1. Let's get it kind of sifted. I think sifting it is a better way to make sure all your stuff gets evenly mixed together. And try not to make a mess, but we all know, if you've been here very long, you know that I am a walking mess, whatever I do. Now, one thing you can do is grab a spatula or a wooden spoon or whatever you like, and there's little clumps in here. You just break them up. It's pretty simple. Alright, so I'm going to do the other cup. I'll be right back. Good thing I turned the camera off. I have powdered sugar everywhere. Alright, now it says to use 1 cup of Dutch processed cocoa powder. Well, we're not that fancy. I bought the Dutch before, and Gabby and I decided that we weren't big fans of that, so we just did the old regular old cocoa powder. So 1 cup of that. And once I open, they come like this. Once I open it, I pour it into these bigger jars so it stays fresher. Let's put this, I'll put this back up here. Give myself a little more room. Then we're going to do the same process. We'll put this through the sifter. That way you don't get big chunks of cocoa, if there are any. And to make this easier, you could put it in like that big measuring 8-cup measuring cup thing that I got from this Pampered Chef. I think Pyrex makes them, and then just pour it in here, your end result. Nope, I like to make messes. See, it's all over my shirt, all over the counter. All right, we're gonna finish putting this in here, and then we'll move on to our next ingredient. Come on, little fella. Okay, there's our cocoa. Next ingredient is 2.5 cups of powdered milk. I got this powdered milk. I have one from Azure Standard too, and I had a heck of a time trying. I think I would like this cocoa better if it was whole dry milk. I used to get mine in bulk at Winco, but all they have at most of the grocery stores is low fat. I do not want low fat. I like a whole milk, especially in my cocoa. So we need 2 cups of this. I don't know what this whole thing is right here. There's like a little, almost looks like a piece of paper in there. It's not a bug. I was like, what the heck? All right, so we need 2.5 cups of this. So we are going to, we probably, messy, here I go. This doesn't even look like it needs to be sifted, which is nice. So I'm going to take my sifter out, set my cup right in there. Very, very powdery. The dried milk you get from the grocery store is almost like tiny little pebbles, which is kind of interesting. My whole life from buying dried milk always looked like that, which is interesting. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's whole milk or the way that these guys process it or what, but I'm pleasantly surprised. All right, so now 2.5 cups. Okay, so we have our powdered sugar, cocoa powder, powdered milk. Now we need 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. I'm gonna put my sifter back in just in case it's clumpy. This helps thicken it. Now you could use arrowroot if you really don't want to use cornstarch. I have that too, but I'm just using cornstarch. All right, so this is all sifted. I do have some more cornstarch that I bought from Azure Standard once I finish all of this, which I'm very excited about. I'm slowly switching everything over. All right, so we don't need this cocoa powder. I didn't know how much I would need. And then we have 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. That's all there is to it. You always got to have a little bit of salty with your sweet. That's just the way it goes. I inadvertently dirtied up all my stuff. Okay. Put everything away so I don't Sift our salt. Okay, so now what I do is I put my lid on. I think this is going to be much better with that whole powdered milk. And then I just invert my jar several times. And each time before I use this, I do the same thing. I shake it around, I mix everything really good. So here you go, homemade cocoa. Now to reconstitute this, what you're going to do is boil your water. I think she says 1/4 of a cup pour, doesn't say how much water. She says 2 a cup of hot water or milk. You can do milk too. It's really good with milk. But yeah, no more store-bought cocoa. All right, folks, I'm going to put this in the link. I'm so glad to be back. I hope the sun is shining where you are. If not, I hope you're not getting super cold and slammed and snowed and rained on. We just now started having freezing temperatures about a week ago. So it's kind of crazy for us. Usually it doesn't happen this late. But anyways, I'll take it. God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Happy cocoaing. Bye-bye.